this is just a personal preference. I don't know if there's any actual benefit to being here other than, you know, what I know, that there's a store here and other buildings to loot, etc., etc. And a pretty white fence, which does you nothing against the zombies because they can just hop over it, so don't even think that that's going to give you any defense, because it won't. They will simply hop over it and eat your brains. And, yeah. I don't guess Shirley Temple's going to be here. Am I even talking about Shirley Temple? Oh, and the houses have alarms, too, so you want to be careful when breaking into a house. Doesn't seem as though this one had an alarm. Oh, jeez. Jeez. As I said, do as I say, not as I do. Don't rush into buildings like that. Don't do that. I said to somebody before that this was probably going to be a big don't do, as opposed to a do, explanation, and I was right. Don't do that. What I just did. Do not. Hey, this is actually the house I had in my last Let's Play, so that's convenient. Wow, I don't know, that didn't even occur to me. So anyways, here's your house, here's your food. You always have a plentiful stock at the beginning. You can go in here, and it's kind of nice to organize everything. I like to organize everything pretty much the same way every time. I like to put all the dried foods and everything in here, and like the sugar and salt and things of that nature. I'll put them all in here, and then I will put usually the books over here on the bookshelf where they belong anyway, and here, oh wait, hold on, boom, here, and then you just put them over there, and you can shift and click each one individually and then just drag all of them over, so you don't have to do all the individual ones over and then waiting for them to go. It's a lot quicker if you do it my way. Drink. And like I said, it's nice to find a water bottle. If you can't find a water bottle, find a cup. I usually ignore those because I'm always waiting for a water bottle, because I'm just an annoying little butt like that. So you take one. And I don't know, some people like to fill up their mugs and all of their mugs and for when the power goes out. I don't do that, and the reason I don't do that is because if you're planning on long-term survival, that's not the way to do it. I mean, yeah, it'll fend you off temporarily. It'll give you some temporary help, but for the long run, it doesn't, I don't know. I just prefer to start immediately working on things that are going to help me in the long run. And by the way, to use a sheet or anything, it has to be in your little inventory here. It can't be in your stack. It has to be in your inventory, so you have to move it. And you see when I right click, it'll say add sheet, and you can put sheet on and close the curtains. And your next goal at this point, after finding a safe house you like and choosing it and saying, I want to live here for the rest of my days until the day I die or get married, which is basically the same thing. What you're going to want to do then is you're going to want to search every inch of the house to look for more sheets and curtains to put up, because that's what you're going to need. You're going to need a lot of curtains. Now for me, I like to have the whole house kind of on lockdown, and the reason is because then I can turn the lights on and I don't have to worry about zombies popping out. You don't necessarily need to do that. I like to do that though, so hey, sue me. Okay, so 3 windows. Note to viewer, 3 windows in this house. If you would like this house, it's pretty big, has quite a few storage places, and I haven't actually figured out what's in here yet. I'm assuming it's a shed, but I don't know. It's not unlocked. It's not unlocked on my other game either, but I assume it's a shed. But yes, note to viewer, if you would like to make this a safe house, it's a pretty darn good one, it seems like, to me. And then once you have all of this stuff, once you have your base and your curtains and everything set up, you're definitely going to want to bump up kind of defenses. You're going to want to start a garden using a trowel, which is a shovel. You can find those in the game, different places. I don't know, you might be able to look on the wiki. I'm not entirely sure. I usually just find them randomly. And also you want to build, I don't know how, if I can get to it here. I don't think I can, but it's like, you'll be able to build it at, I think, level 2 or 3 carpentry. And what it is if you get enough of these plastic bags, you can actually use these on a project, and the project will be to build like these little water collectors. And oh, here's a trowel. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. There's a trowel right there. But you can use them to build like little water collector things, and it'll very much help you in the long run, because you can gather water that way. Or you can go alternatively to a location with a well. There's farms and different things, farms, and I believe cabins in the woods that have wells, and those will supply an infinite amount of water, I do believe. I don't know, you could double check that too. I've never seen it run out of water. I've never seen anybody say it could run out of water, so I just assume it can be there forever. And these seed packets are what you're going to need to actually grow the vegetables that you're going to be planting. It's preferable that you have a bucket of some kind, something big to put water in, because that's what you're going to need to water everything down. Because if you don't have it, you're just setting yourself up for failure, because using a bottle, unless you want to spend an entire game day watering a little bitty garden, it's not very effective, to say the least. So here's my little cottage, here's my little shack, and that's pretty much it for, I believe I went over everything for building a survival, or for beginner's guide. You have the Moodles, tells you what you need to do. I probably should have mentioned that at the beginning, but if you're watching this, then chances are you probably already know that, because you've probably already watched many more videos. But the Moodles basically indicate what's wrong with you. Right now I'm drowsy. It'll indicate pain, sadness, happiness, etc., etc. And if you're wounded, bandages, you just right click them and it goes to apply, and it'll go to any area of the body. But yeah, these mugs of water, you'll drink them automatically. It shows weight remaining right there. That is how much you have left. Same with the frying pan, it shows the condition. It was never repaired, so I've never repaired this thing before in my life. Obviously, I just got it, but it can break, and it shows the condition to which it can break. And that's another thing, you want to stay stocked up on weapons. Hammers are good weapons, but I would advise you to wait and use those for actual building, because you need them for building. And to secure your fortress, to build walls and to build barricades, you need the hammers. So I would, if you have any other weapons at your disposal, I would suggest you use those instead, and you don't use anything other than that. If you can avoid it, of course. If you can avoid it. Sometimes you can't, sometimes you can. You know, that's just life. Right click on the bed to sleep, and when you sleep, you want to make sure you're in a safe location. Obviously, this is zombies, and when NPCs are in, even NPCs, I believe you're gonna have the ability to lock your doors too. Although NPCs are they're gonna mess everything up. They're gonna cause a lot of havoc. You're not gonna feel nearly as safe as you could right now using this beginner's guide. So honestly, this beginner's guide may not do you any good if NPCs have already released and you're watching this. you're probably just going to be spitting in the wind watching this video right now. I'll probably release another beginner's guide when NPCs are released and the game is technically completed. That way it'll be at least somewhat new. And yeah, just pick your safe house. Okay, that was an alarm. Okay, what's going to happen is these zombies are going to come over here and they're going to eat my brains out. As I say, do as I say, not as I do. And, you know what? That was really, unfortunately, really close to my safe house. That's very unfortunate. But sometimes you gotta take some major risks, and guys, this is the very unfortunate outcome of taking those risks. Sometimes you just get yourself into predicaments, and this is one of those predicaments.